Welcome to my YouTube channel, Keep All Out. We're going to talk about the Premier League. It's been headache. But we're going to start off with Chelsea. Chelsea. Ha! So I was bigging you up 3 days ago. You want to disgrace me like that, Chelsea? After that performance against Arsenal, you want to turn up at Ellen Road and perform like that. Now, in all honesty, I watched the game. I watched the full game. And I was not happy with how Chelsea started. Like, let's just speak about it. Like, why are Chelsea starting a Premier League game like that after just playing Arsenal, after giving a good account of themselves in such a big game at Stamford Bridge, and then a couple days later, you start 1-0 down. Now, that wasn't the end, but it was the energy that Leeds United continued to put into that performance, and Chelsea had no response. Now, I've always had questions this season about Chelsea centre-backs, especially when I don't see Fofana at the back. And I bigged Fofana up in the last video because I spoke about how class he is when he's actually fit. What was he doing not on that pitch? I don't know. Was he injured? I don't know. I didn't see the team lineups before the game. But one thing I know for sure is he's needed in that back line, because what I witnessed today, oh my gosh, and I don't even want to get onto Chalobah because I think Chalobah was actually decent, but we're going to get there. Apart from that, Leeds United's second goal, Tanaka, what a finish, bottom corner. Again, I think it was just, a little melee around the box. I think a Leeds player got a toe to the ball, and then they played a nice little ball into Tanaka, who had a couple of chances to score, and then he just whacked it. And I thought, his technique on his other two chances wasn't good. And he just smashes it bottom corner, 2-0. And in the Premier League, when you're away from home and you're 2-0 down, it's never an easy game. Now, Chelsea in the second half, what did they do? They bring on Neto. And Neto scored. Chelsea scored, Neto scored. And I thought, to be honest, they would take more control after that. I was really liking the link up between João Pedro and Delap. I just think with Delap, some of his touches are so sloppy. Like, as a striker, you want to set yourself early. And that's something he has to get into his game. He likes taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches. And I think you need to do better than that, Delap. Another thing is, because I've spoken about their link up, I still think Chelsea need pairings all over the pitch. By that, I mean link up between the right back, the right winger, the left back, the left winger. And obviously, Chelsea interchanged. So Gittins did start the game. He was the one that actually created a goal for Neto, but he didn't go past Bogle that many times. And again, it's one of those things that I don't like with wingers, when they don't want to dribble past their man. And when he actually did, left him for dead, Chelsea got a goal. But they weren't able to get back in the game. They had a chance with Cole Palmer. Now, they brought on Garnacho, who was superb as a sub. He's a super sub. He was at Manchester United. It's the same thing. He's got the energy. He always seems to know how to keep going at his man. That's one thing about Garnacho. He won't get tired. He carried on. And there was a chance created for Cole Palmer, but he went wide. I thought he'd wrap his foot around it and get into the far corner, but he didn't do that. And then, of course, Chelsea concede again. And this goal was disastrous. Tosin! What are you doing? What are you doing? Dilly-dallying on the ball at the back like that. And I've not been impressed by Tosin this season. I haven't been impressed at all. Again, whenever he plays, it's shaky at the back. It's shaky and he's very slow to react. Maybe it's his frame. I don't know. But the mistake was costly. Because Calvert-Lewin scored. And when Calvert-Lewin scores, respectfully against your club, you must be doing something wrong. Now, the truth of the matter is, Sanchez tried to, claim, and no. The ref said no, you didn't really have it in your hands. And no offside, no foul, 3-1, Leeds United. And this is the problem with Chelsea. They lack consistency, and it's been the same over the last few seasons. And I was speaking about them yesterday, and I said Chelsea are that team where they're just going to drop points again. And that's exactly what happened. It's been the same for the last couple of years. They give you a high, and then you go low and you think, okay, they're not ready yet. They make you feel like they're ready. They make you feel like, you know what, we can do this, but they don't have the consistency 1 win, 2 wins, 3 wins, 4 wins, 5 wins, 6 wins, 7 wins, 8 wins, 9 wins, 10 wins. And that's what you need to win the Premier League. That's just the honest truth. The most consistent team wins the Premier League. And let's be real, the Premier League of late has been trash. I looked at the points tally today. I thought, what? West Ham are like, what? 18th? 11 points. The next team is 14 points, then 14 points, then 15 points, then 17 points, then 18 points, then 19 points. And between that, you're talking about 7, 8, 9 places. It's crazy right now. It's only that gap between Arsenal. That's 5 points. 33 points there. Man City on 28 points. And that brings us on to Arsenal. 2-0 win. Arsenal were not at their best, but Arsenal win. Consistency. That's what they've got. They won again. 2-0 against Brentford. Now, should they have won the game? I mean, you can argue. Raya's made a brilliant save from Shada. Again, Saka missed an open goal. Saka ended up scoring a goal. Saka GA, they're all happy. He's getting his assists. He's getting his goals now a lot of the time, which is what he is good at. Marino again, customary header. Played as a forward, scored. Madueke disappointing. Eze, obviously, didn't start the game. But for me, again, Eze, he escaped criticism against Chelsea. He escaped. But if Arsenal had lost that game, people would have been onto him. They would have criticised him. He escaped. Came on the pitch again. Was a bit livelier than Martinelli, who really wasn't good. And then, again, like I said, they've got their players. Odegaard trying to come back in. But again, injuries. It's a telltale sign. Like, they're getting injuries now. Mosquera, Rice came off. We don't know how serious it is. Odegaard obviously coming back into the mix. They have that big squad. But I told you guys, glass houses. A lot of Arsenal players are glass houses. They have played consistently under Arteta. They have given it their all physically, mentally. A lot of them are glass houses. That's why they're dropping. Saliba, we've seen it. Havertz, we've seen it. Gabriel, we've seen it more than once or twice. Gabriel Jesus, we've seen it more than once or twice. Mosquera now. Odegaard. Players who you knew they didn't get injured before. Why are they getting injured now? Glass houses. I've made videos on this. I don't need to say anymore. You guys understand. But the reality is Arsenal win at the Emirates and Arsenal have a 5-point lead. And that's healthy. Regardless of what you want to say, that is healthy and is as healthy as it needs to be for them. What's not healthy is watching Liverpool, because I also was glimpsing, looking at that game, thinking Sunderland. And Sunderland almost won it at the end. They could have beaten Liverpool. My goodness me. Isidore surrounded Alisson. And Chiesa cleared it off the line. But I must say, Sunderland, the way they defend, is somebody going to give them the credit they deserve? Because honestly speaking, they were all over Liverpool in that second half. Liverpool got lucky. Yeah. Wirtz, great dribbling inside the box, of course. His shot was going well wide. It deflected off Mukiele and went in a goal. And of course, people are going to be out here clapping, but they were all over Liverpool. It seemed like there were more Sunderland players than there were Liverpool players. But again, I must say, well done to the manager. I just think the way he's set up Sunderland, the way he's playing Xhaka, Xhaka, the pivotal role Xhaka's playing for Sunderland. He's the brains. He's the manager on that pitch. I see him telling players, you go left, you go right, you do this, you do that. I say, that's it. Xhaka. Yeah, man. He really, really revolutionized this Sunderland team. Organized. They know how to pass the ball, keep the tempo of the game, slow down the game, when to attack. They're very good on set pieces. We saw Bollard again. That guy is a handful. He's a handful, and he defended really well today as well. And of course, we must talk about Tyree. And we must talk about Virgil van Dijk again. It's like I have to make a video on Van Dijk every week. I have to talk about Van Dijk every week. Why? Because Van Dijk every week is playing bad. So we're not going to let it go. Yeah, we're not going to let it go. Why? Because they said he's the greatest ever to play in the Premier League. One of the greatest ever in football history. What's this? I don't even want to hear about and the team is struggling. I don't want to hear about none of that. Because you say he's the best ever. Maldini played to what age? All these top defenders, Thiago Silva played to what age? What we're seeing from Van Dijk right now is one of the biggest downfalls. The goal was made from Van Dijk's mistake. If you didn't know, it was his error. Ball came into him, passed it, didn't clear it properly, and Taibi took the ball, had a shot, deflected off Van Dijk, bottom corner, and he's lucky. He's lucky that Sunderland didn't end up winning that game. I'm telling you, he's very lucky, and Liverpool are also very lucky. Should Arne Slot be out the door? Ask me again. Yes, they need a new manager. They need somebody else in that team, on that bench, because right now it's not working. It's not working. It's not working. And to be honest, they should have lost the game. They got away with one. They should have lost the game. They shouldn't have even got that draw. That's the reality. Gakpo, out of ideas. Isak, they don't play for him. You know, Ekitike is trying, but it's not been working of late. Obviously, Curtis Jones helped with the goal. Verse today was actually trying, was getting about. Salah started on the bench. They brought on Chiesa. Again, a player that I think they should be starting. Gravenberch wasn't at his best. Konate was actually pretty decent today. It's just all over the place right now at Liverpool. It looks like a mess. That's what it is. It is an absolute mess right now. And they're holding on. They're holding on for dear life right now, because again today, we should have been talking about another Liverpool defeat. But if I'm talking about the Premier League as a whole, I think that the quality's gone down. The quality's really, really gone down. When I watch games, I'm just thinking, what's happened to our beloved Premier League? But yeah, that's it. We don't need to say anything new. Good baller. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and see you soon.